everyone, it's Alina here and welcome to my channel. I'm super psyched you guys could join me today, and today's card is going to be a cool card for you to try, and I'm going to be making a paper piece background for a fall card, and I'm going to be using this Julie Nutting stamp set. Let me bring it in for you guys. There we are, and this is a Party Girl stamp set, and I picked this up at Hobby Lobby. It was on clearance. I couldn't believe it, and I definitely couldn't pass it up. Now, here is the item number right there. And now, beforehand, before I actually started filming, I already stamped my image on my paper and using my Memento ink for that, because I'm going to be using my Copic markers to color in her skin and her hair. And now I'm going to bring the image back in so you can see that I'm going to alter her dress just a little bit. I'm only going to be paper piecing her skirt. And then for the top portion of the dress, I'm going to turn it into a jacket. So I'm going to show you exactly how I'm going to do that. And now the paper that I stamped her on is an older Prima collection. This is their Something Blue collection. And now for her skirt, I use a different paper pad for that. And here it is. And this is the Hampton Art Kai Berry Blast paper pad. This has a lot of rich and deep colors, perfect for your fall cards, your Thanksgiving cards, you name it. And here's the paper that I chose. And I decided to go with the softer pink with olive green polka dots. So I have my skirt stamped, ready to go. I have my image stamped, ready to go. Now I'm going to use another stamp set, and this one is from Inkadinka-Doo, and I'm going to use that pumpkin because I'm going to show you how to do some masking. I want to create like a pumpkin patch background for my doll to star in. And unfortunately, this stamp set does not have a name, but it does have an item number. I'm going to show you that in just a minute. And there we go. And now that I have my image already stamped, ready to go, I'm going to start doing some coloring. And here's the image right there. And then I'm going to show you how I'm going to turn her top portion of her dress into a jacket, like I said earlier. And I'm going to be using the lines that are already existing in the stamp itself to create the jacket. Believe me, it sounds like it's going to be difficult, but it really isn't. But I do run into a snag later on in the video, and I will tell you about that. And here are my go-to skin colors, and I will catch you guys back here when her skin is done. And here is her skin and her hair all colored in. Let me bring it up close for you guys so you can see it a little bit better. And I will make sure to leave a link somewhere in the video to a tutorial I did last week on my channel on how to color skin and hair. Now it's time to move on to her skirt, and I'm going to use my RV000, my RV52 for that. And when you're coloring anything with pleats, like a skirt or a dress, you always want to start off with your darkest shade first and then work from there. So I'm going to start this off by using my RV52 and start laying down my shadows first on the pleats. And you're going to see that towards the end, it really gives it a much better, more dimensional look. So I'll catch you guys back here. So here's her skirt colored in, and I think it might be a good idea for me to bring in my Cool Gray 22 marker, and that's my Conda brand marker from Hobby Lobby. I think I can add just a little more of a deeper shadow between the pleats. So I'm going to grab my marker and darken up the pleats a little bit, and then I'll catch you guys back here when it's done. So here's my very cute skirt all colored in, and I did use my white gel pen to add some highlights to the ruffles. And once I had it cut out, I used my 100 Copic black marker to go around the edges. And here's what it's going to look like on the image. I'm just going to adhere it down. And I think the addition of the Cool Gray marker helped to deepen up the pleats and give it that much more depth. And I did use my tacky glue, so I do have a little bit of seeping from the glue, so I'm trying to wipe that away really quickly. And now the next step is to work on her jacket. I'm going to use my G94, my G99 markers to create that. And really quickly, I'm just going to use my G94 and sketch in some of the lapel detail on the jacket. Now, in hindsight, if I was to do this image again, I would just create a center line down the bodice of the top, because later on I'm going to run into a little problem that I'm going to need to fix, and you will see that. So I'm just quickly sketching in the lapels on the jacket, and then the next step is that I'm just going to fill it all in, and then I'm going to add my shading using my G99 and bring back my CG marker to deepen up the shadows, and I'll catch you guys back here. Okay, now to help to define the lapels that much more, I'm going to go in with my fine tip black marker, and I'm going to create a black outline. And it's going to trick the eye. It's going to make it seem like when I stamped this image, she was definitely wearing a jacket, that I didn't draw it in, but I did. So I'm just helping to define it a little bit more. And all I'm doing is just drawing around the lapel to define it that much more, and I can't say it enough. How many times am I going to say jacket and lapels? I'm so sorry. As you can see there, you can still see the original neckline. Whoops. And some of the strap of the dress, the original dress. So my quick fix was to use a bronze gel pen. Now in the after pics, so make sure to stay tuned so you can see all the close-up after pics, I went back and used some small gold rhinestones. I thought it looked a little bit better. So here I am just following the original neckline and just adding like a necklace there, and it hides that line perfectly. And then I'm going to add some buttons on the lapels. Sorry. Oh my gosh. So here's my image all cut out. She is like ready to go to the pumpkin patch and go pick out herself some pumpkins. Looking very cute in the outfit that I created for her. I also used my G94 and my G99 markers to color in her shoes. And I went around the edges using my 100 black Copic marker. And now this next step is to create my bunch of pumpkins, gaggle of pumpkins, whatever. So here's my scrap piece of white cardstock, and the trick to masking is to stamp whatever you want in the front first and then mask those off. So I'm stamping my first two pumpkins there, and now I'm going to mask them off and stamp another pumpkin behind them, and then I'm going to mask the one on the left off and stamp another pumpkin to the side, and then I'm going to mask that one that I just finished stamping and stamp my last pumpkin along the top. Now the next step is to color them in, and I'm using this Artist Loft 404 marker because that is the lightest orange marker that I have. And then I'm using my E99 to add some shading, and I'm also bringing in my E29 to deepen it up just a little bit more. So I'm just coloring it in. There we go, there we go. Color, color, color. And I am lightening everything up with my 404 marker. And here's what my pumpkin looks like so far. So now for the next step, I'm going to color in the rest of my pumpkins. And by the magic of video editing and YouTube, here are all my pumpkins ready to go. Ah, they look wonderful. And now here they are all cut out. Now the trickiest part that I found to cutting these pumpkins out were the leaves, so they're a little jaggedy, so just ignore that for now. And I decided to create a sign, because there's always signs that you see when you go to the pumpkin patch or to your local orchard. So I just drew 3 planks using a fine tip black marker and a scrap piece of white cardstock and my ruler. And so I'm going to use my E18 and my E29 to color it in. And I'm just showing you really quickly how to color it in. And I will meet you guys back here to show you the completed sign. And now here are all of my pieces all colored in, and I cut them out off camera, and I'm just arranging them how I want them to go. And then next is to adhere them down, and that here's what it looks like right here, sorry. And I have all of my images all lined up. Here's my gorgeous doll sporting her very cute jacket. Here are my pumpkins, and last but not least, my sign. I will add the words once I have my scene set up. So the next step is to bring in my Paper Studio 9th Street paper collection and pick out a nice blue pattern paper to act as the sky to create my scene on. And I'm just going to thumb through it really quickly. And the paper that I decided to use was this blue polka dot. Thought it looked really nice. I'm going to bring my image here to make sure it looks very, yeah, see, there it goes. And using the Hampton Archive Berry Blast, I'm going to use this polka dotted paper, and I'm going to use the B side of that because it is olive green on the other side, because this paper collection, it has double-sided paper, so it has pattern on one side, solid on the other. And I'm just laying it down because I'm going to adhere it along the bottom. I'm just going to arrange my pieces to make sure everything looks good. And as you know, I'm going to add my sign to the back of the pumpkins. I'm going to take this blue pattern paper, trim it off camera, and I will leave the measurements down in the description box. And then the green cardstock, I just trimmed it down to about 1 inch. I'm using my tape runner to adhere it down. And all I have to do is just cut off the excess, and here it is. And using that Inkadinkado stamp set, I'm going to use those leaves and my old olive ink pad from Stamping Up because I thought it needed a little bit more, something more to the background. So I'm just going to start stamping away really quickly, and I will catch you guys back here so we can assemble our card. And here's what my scene looks like so far. See how adding the Cool Gray 22 around the images really adds a little bit of shading and shadow against the background, helps to make them pop that much more. Now I'm going to use my Jelly Roll White Gel Pen to add a little bit of highlight to each of the pumpkins. And then to add a little bit of sparkle, I'm going to go in with my Wink of Stella, and I'm going to add it to her skirt, her shoes, and add a little bit of sparkle to each of my pumpkins. And I will catch you guys back here so we can finish up the card. And here's my completed background scene. And I finished it up off camera, and I adhered it on a sheet of white cardstock, and I left the 1/16 border all the way around. And I used my white gel pen to add my words to my sign. So now it reads pumpkins, hay rides, and apple cider. And then using another mini stamp set from Inka Dinka Doo, I use this leaf image. I'm going to show it to you in just a minute. Right there in my old olive ink pad, I thought I needed a little more greenery in the corners, and I really like how that turned out. And then I add a little bit of shadow using my G94 marker. And now here is my sentiment, and I stamped that using my StazOn ink, and it says enjoy the bounty of the harvest. And I went around the edges just to add a little bit of color using my A29 marker for that. And I am going to adhere my sentiment in the corner like so. There we go. And now all that's left to do now is to attach it to my card base, and I'm going to use some pop dots to attach it to my craft cardstock base. And I did turn it into a, and I did make this into a top folding card, as you can see here. And now I'm going to use pop dots to attach my panel to my card base, and ta-da! Here is the card for you guys. This was a lot of fun to make. Definitely using a lot of different techniques, like using your Copic coloring techniques for your clear stamps, using different colored inks, stamp masking, you name it, this card has it all. And I also added some sprinkles to the sentiment. And if I open it up, I can add my sentiment in the inside as well. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a like and subscribe. And stay tuned. I have another video planned on Friday, so make sure to come back for that. And thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye!